Hi, and welcome to my channel. So it's been almost a week since I've actually played The Sims, I have to confess. I've been mostly building and I've had a lot more fun doing that right now. I go through stages in The Sims where sometimes I want to build, sometimes I want to create a character, sometimes I just want to play. Sometimes it lasts a couple of days, sometimes it lasts a couple of weeks. Sometimes I don't want to play for a couple of weeks. So in today's video, the idea that I have plucked from the chaotic mess in my mind is creating a character. But not just any character, a character from a book that I just recently read, The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. There are a couple of notes back here, but I'm not going to be doing like a book review or anything like that. I just genuinely couldn't picture the main character. She didn't have a face, so I'm gonna put her face on her on The Sims. Before we get started, don't forget to do the YouTube Holy Trinity in the name of the like, comment, and subscribe. All right, so now we are in Create a Sim. This background is by Cloudcat, I believe. I'll have it linked down below if I remember to link it. But this is my sim, Miss Ellie Aiden, basically. This is supposed to be my character, Ellie's mom. You can see she kind of really looks like Ellie, but it's supposed to be me. I know she doesn't look like me. I want her to though. So she is not the one that I'm going to be making into Evelyn Hugo, but I have already given her an Evelyn Hugo makeover just to see. I don't think she is a good candidate for Evelyn Hugo, so goodbye. The other candidate that I had was Savannah Dream. Since Savannah is supposed to be of Hispanic heritage, I thought maybe she would be a really good fit. But Evelyn Hugo is described as having no ass, no hips, just huge boobs on a slim frame. Savannah is definitely meant to be curvy, so she got them hips, baby. So she is not a good candidate either. Up next is Camilla, who doesn't have quite as much hips. She does have hips, but she doesn't have quite as much. She's a much slimmer frame. I do believe that she has her mom's bazungas, so she seems to be the best fit. I'm just gonna go right ahead and make her a young adult because I don't want to talk about her body parts. Okay, her hips definitely came out a little bit more as a young adult, so I should have probably done that. She's still gonna be my Evelyn Hugo because I want to play with her. Camilla is one of my favorites. She is just she's so cute. We already heard one description of Evelyn Hugo, one of which though I find to be quite offensive, and I'll explain why as I'm creating her. But here is the quote that I'm going to use to best describe her. I skimmed the book and I have a little bit of notes here. Don't look at my notes. But I have some notes just because I feel like, I mean, I'm not going to spoil the best part of the book, but there will be spoilers, so not intense ones. I'm not going to give anything away. I would love to though. If anybody would love to have like full spoilers and have a full book review, not a book review, a character review, let me know. Anyway, but here is how she is described. When you see pictures of E back in the day with her brassy blonde hair, those dark, straight as an arrow eyebrows, that deep tanned skin, and those golden brown eyes, you have no choice but to stop what you are doing and stare right at her. And don't even get me started on that body.
Body crazy, curvy, wavy, big titties, little waist.
No ass, no hips, just huge boobs on a slim frame. And then it goes on to say, I have basically been working my entire adult life for a body like that. No, and very far away might be the spaghetti bucatini I've been eating. So Camilla does have kind of straight eyebrows. They do have a little bit of arch, but she does have the tanned skin. I just think that she's perfect. She's perfect. For, and I'm gonna keep the curves because I don't like the way Evelyn was described at all. And it's not because I'm a curvy person or because I personally like curvy women aesthetically, but just because personally I wouldn't want to be described by my hips. Just personally, I wouldn't like that, but whatever. Let's take off Camilla's clothing. And yeah, Camilla has some thicky thighs. She definitely does. We might change her body as well. All right, we have a towel on her so that she is appropriate because she kind of is a teenager in my game right now. No. She's actually an adult in my game right now, but I know her as a teenager. I don't want to see her naked. So I'm going to take everything off of her actually. And I'm going to start fresh. I'm going to start right from here. Other than like her eyebrows, her hair, and her body, I don't remember there being anything else as much as her looks other than her being very beautiful, which is up for interpretation, right? I find Camilla to be very beautiful, so I do feel like she's a great base. But as soon as I change her skin details, she'll look a lot different than what she does, even if I don't change like her base. But I like her base. So I got this new skin by Northern Siberia Winds. And oh man, I thought I was gonna like it a lot more than I actually do. But I don't know, it just changes the Sims features way too much, even though I really like this. But let's move on. I think I'm gonna use my favorite skin, which are these. Butterish is one of my favorites. You see how it doesn't change the Sim's face all that much? But this doesn't change the Sim's face a ton, but it gives them a smoothness, it gives them a texture that I really enjoy, especially Mercuria. Yeah, this one changes the face. Oh my god, this one's so lovely. I don't know. Let's try out this one. This one is, what is it? Soft Rose. So I'm just actually gonna try that cartoon one out just because I got it, you know? I also downloaded these lips, which are just, oh my god, this is genius. It's genius. Look at her. She looks amazing already, but she kind of doesn't look like, Evelyn Hugo quite yet. So let's move on. I want to give her eyelashes. She's gonna get big eyelashes. I normally go for this one that has the softer brown underneath, but I think I'm gonna go for the full glam. I like adding Boo Boo blush. Oh my god, yes. But since it's like older, she would probably use a bit more of like this pinkier. I never use these colors, but I feel like, ugh, no, I'm sorry. It kind of gives too much on the nose, but it's okay. Oh my god, she looks so good right now. Let me stop, because she looks so smooth. I love that kind of velvety finish. We're gonna add some pores. Ah, yes. Maybe like that. Make it nice and subtle. Since she does have like that cartoon skin, I'm gonna make it just a little subtle. All right, from this face kit, I'm adding a bit of shadow around like here, and that's just gonna emphasize her nose a little bit more. I am gonna put a nose mask on her. I might remove this little detail, but so far I kind of like the detail. And then I always like to do an eye mask also. I haven't done this one in a really long time, so let's see if I like it. I normally don't like how it doesn't blend up there. You know what, maybe it won't matter. I like the depth that it adds to the eyelids. When you take it out, it kind of removes that depth and it makes it like if she had foundation and she put foundation on her eyes. This one looks a lot more natural, so I'm gonna keep that one instead. I might take it out, it doesn't matter. I don't know. Maybe I'll go without it. I am going for, I think this one has the reddish tone. Right. Oh, yes. To me, that would be the tone that Evelyn Hugo would go for. It wouldn't be quite bam red. She would go with something that kind of looks great on her skin tone. As far as makeup, since she is naturally beautiful, I think she would have accentuating makeup like a good eyeliner. So Evelyn Hugo is of Cuban descent, as far as the author says. So as a Hispanic myself, as a Dominican, as somebody who is racially ambiguous to those who aren't like Hispanic. Yeah, I didn't like the fact that the author is not Cuban, but decided to make her character Cuban. Now listen, I would never police anybody. I would never police anybody's creative vision. And I would never tell somebody white that they can't have people of color be main characters in their stories. You can. My problem is if you're going to do that, do it intentionally. Don't do it just to give the character texture if you aren't going to like dive into it. Her being Cuban made no difference. She could have made her racially ambiguous and just said that she had like darker skin. And she could have literally been of any ethnicity, but you made her specifically Cuban, so I want to know why. What about her Cuban background makes Evelyn interesting? What's the texture that you're trying to create by making her Hispanic? Like, her being Cuban just had no significance to who Evelyn was. It wasn't like she was fighting a stereotype or I don't know. For me, her story and the fact that she was Hispanic probably would have done a lot better if Evelyn was someone who embraced her nationality, but satirized Hollywood's fetishization of other cultures, especially when it's whitewashed, which would better explain her blonde hair. Oh my God, this looks amazing on her. Not only would it better explain her blonde hair, but it would also better explain why she constantly pushed the boundaries, not just as a feminine woman and as a feminist and someone who is sexually liberated, but also just to point out the fetishization of her culture, especially when it's closer to whiteness. And I think that's the problem ultimately that I do have with Evelyn Hugo, is that she could have just been any race, really. She didn't have to be Cuban. Maybe there was something in the book that I missed that tied her to her nationality and that tied her to any kind of discourse that was probably going on with Cuba at the time of her popularity. I don't want to look too much into the reasons and the ethnicity and all of that, just because I did like the book. I just have comments. You know what I mean? I have comments. So I kind of really like that. She had brassy blonde hair though. None of these are brassy. I would say the closest one to brassy is that one, but it kind of looks like it's her skin tone. Or maybe even this one. I'm gonna go for this one. I know it said brassy, but I feel like that lighter blonde that doesn't quite look like her skin tone looks a little bit better. Or even this one. I don't know. There are other hairstyles here. These are by Wing Sims, but the original ones, they don't work. So I have these recolors by Pixels Lie, and some of them don't work actually. So I don't really quite know, but I felt like these were the best hairs. I think this one also kind of, yeah, this color is way too white. And then I feel like this one looks too much like her skin tone. Do you know what I mean? Let's do this one then maybe. Does it look better like that? I also thought about maybe this one. And the last option that I have here as far as hair is this one, which I feel like this color with this particular hair looks so much better. I don't love it, but maybe we can give her like a look. I'll give her a look with that hair, but I think I liked the other hair a little bit better. Maybe this one. She would definitely have short hair because if she's chemically processing her hair, that would be very damaged. I hardly doubt that back in the day they had like nice, safe practices. There we go. We'll give her more than one look. Right. Should I give her some makeup? Let's give her some eyes. I love these eyes, but I want... Oh, God, yes. Her eyes are described as honey brown, but... I kind of like that. Honey brown would definitely be more of that one. This one I feel like is a bit more green. We got that one. Just honestly, that one. Let's see it in a little bit lighter. I mean, we could do also this one. What do you think? Okay, I'm kind of digging this one. I think I'm gonna stick with that one, even though this one was super, super, super cool. I really love that one. But I'm going to give her this one instead, just because it kind of matches the description a little bit more. Her eyebrows also, maybe just... They made such a big deal about her eyebrows being dark. Yeah, I'm going to give her that one. The woman had money. She had a glam team, okay? They would have lightened her eyebrows a little bit. That little white streak is kind of bothering me. Maybe in this look, I'll give her a bit more of a matte lip. Dude, I don't have like a good red lip. I also am not liking the way these lipsticks are falling on her. Are looking on her, I should say. Why does it fit her like that? Let's take off the lipstick. Okay, let's I'm gonna change her lips. I've made a mistake, haven't I? Okay, so I didn't end up changing her lips only because I feel like this one, she was born with them. They look natural on her. But boy, howdy, how much I wish I had a really good dark red lip. That is the only lipstick that I can find that actually looks good with her skin tone. And it's, you know, kind of reddish because I feel like she would have, you know, sassy lips. So right, did I choose an eyeliner for her? I like that. Maybe like up a little bit more like that. I kind of like that because it changes her eyes a little bit. Sorry, I go back and forth like this a lot. I don't know if that's annoying. Maybe some eyeshadow, something natural. Yes. Right. I think that looks really, really, really good. And then I think I can change her eyeliner to be a little bit thicker than that one. I think I'm gonna go for this one though. Let's give her some earrings while we're here. I don't think you can see her earrings. Yeah, you can't really see any of her earrings. So I feel like it's kind of pointless to put earrings on her. But I wanna put maybe like studs like these. You know what I mean? You can't see them at all. Yeah, I'll keep those on. Maybe give her a necklace. So as far as the book, it's a good book. I liked it. I liked the book. It was really good. It was really well written. Aside from the fact that I do have issues with her character's heritage, I guess. The only thing I think I would criticize there is for, I love that. That's simple. It's sexy. Oh my God, yes. I forgot that I got this too. She would definitely be a little bit more opulent. I'm gonna go with the emerald. Since she does, I am gonna give her an emerald green dress, but I feel like that would be more her style. So yeah, that would be my note to the author is, you know, probably get to know some Cuban Americans whose parents, maybe that like were born here, but whose parents, you know, are from Cuba. Try talking to one of them. I feel like growing up Hispanic or growing up just as a person of color, everybody's culture is so important to them. No matter who they are and what their background is, their culture is important to them. She, like I said, she could have literally left that part out and left it up for interpretation and just said that she had dark skin. So I do like her. She has a bit of a soft face. Maybe if I push in her cheekbones a little bit. Nah, I like the soft face. I don't feel like she looks Cuban. I don't know if I should go maybe a little bit darker with her skin tone. But let's just put a dress on her. Yes. Oh, but the green color is so ugly. But I really, really like this dress. It does glitch a little bit. I downloaded so many dresses. But the book is good. I didn't like Evelyn Hugo as a character, if I'm just gonna be honest. I just didn't like her. I still don't like her. There's no justifying it. So because I didn't like her as a character, I didn't like her story. When I bought the book, when I went to the cashier and I was like, I would like to purchase this book, she was like, oh my God, I cried. I didn't feel bad for Evelyn Hugo at all. Again, the green color is, well, this one's better than the last one. It's still pretty wrecked. I'm so mad. All the green colors are terrible. Ugh, it's too glitchy. Again, the color, it's so bad. I did also download things like this. Like this would be iconic. I did download stuff like this that wasn't like the emerald green color that she's supposed to wear and supposed to look beautiful on her. Cause that, I mean, girl, I want that on my wall right now. This one also has no green color. Does it have anything that would, maybe this peachy? That would look also just bomb diggity on her. I mean, we're getting closer, right? Ooh, I like this. It's really plain, but look, you can see her huge tatas, which is such an emphasis of hers. She has huge knockers and everybody would like to see them. Even the ladies. I like this a lot. She needs like huger knockers, right? Huger. She needs bigger knockers. Oh, no, I can't do it. I can't do it. Ooh, I love this also. We're getting closer. Yeah, this was a bad idea altogether. I also downloaded like a bunch of goddess looks. It's not quite emerald, it's more of like a green color. Like the deep plunge would have been like super risque, I guess, back in those days. And then the open back also would have just been super sexy. She would have stunned people in this dress, but it's just not the right color. Again, not entirely the right color, but I can see it. She can do this one also. And I feel like if her knockers were bigger, it would look great also, but they are hanging on for dear life over here on the side boobage area. That tube top is holding on for dear life. She could also do something like that, be more of a socialite looking kind of thing. I don't know which one to give her now. I do feel like this one looks closer to that emerald green color. All right, so I think I'm gonna stick with this dress just because it's the closest to it. Ooh, what kind of shoes would they have typically worn? I wish they looked more gold. Let's see if I have anything else like in tattoos that'll help her. Yes. Yes. That definitely squeezes her boobs together and it looks a little bit more accurate. I'm also just gonna give her some nails. Miss Thang I think she would have painted nails, honestly. Yeah, I have a lot of nails that just don't work. Or maybe she'll have like longer nails like that. I think that one looks good. She does need a big fat rock on her hand also, since she's gotten married so many times. Oh, do I not have any? I may not have any. Ugh, it clashes with her eyelashes. Ugh. Or you know what? Instead of giving her a ring or anything like that, you know what I do have? Gloves. They don't really match, do they? Maybe they don't go with this piece. Oh, that would be so cool. I wish she had like a fur shawl. I don't think I have anything like that. No, I don't have anything that I can kind of put around her shoulders, but it would have looked so good. What is this? No, I don't want that. But yeah, maybe she'll have some arm gloves. Arm gloves. She'll have some gloves. All right, so I'm gonna keep the gloves even though her look doesn't have gloves. There are parts of the book that kind of go into her style a little bit for like what she was wearing to these events, but I don't know. I couldn't picture any of it. I think I just didn't like the stories. For this second Evelyn Hugo, I think it would be my interpretation. I'm gonna put whatever dress I feel like would look best on somebody that I picture. Now, as I mentioned before, I did not like the character. There are a lot of reasons to that. I don't want to spoil them. Read the book for yourself, but I didn't like Evelyn Hugo. The book tried really hard to make her, I guess, seem human, but in my opinion, she just... Like, I get it. We all make mistakes, right? But she made like such idiotic mistakes. It was all for fame. It had nothing to do with her nationality. It had nothing to do with her plight. She didn't even consider herself a great actress, which was even worse in my opinion, because it's not like she's even fighting to be recognized. You know what I mean? As a Hispanic, as a Cuban American, she wasn't like, there was no point to it. I'm sorry. It was such a stupid point. Actually, this emerald color looks really, really, really good on her in this particular dress with this really high slit. That's definitely something that I would imagine someone like Evelyn Hugo wearing to the red carpet with her huge boobs out. This one should have been the original dress. This is what I think the author imagined. This is what I want to imagine. Darker eyes, not really a honey color. I want her to have that darker sort of, just like this one. It looks almost piercing. It's so beautiful. Shall I change her eyelids? Oh my God, hold on. Why do I love it? They look like two different people. They don't look the same at all. No, they don't look the same at all. This is sweet and innocent. This one is like, I'm going to eat your husband. Let me change it. It looks way too different, so I'm gonna change it. Maybe she would have more of like a smoky eye. No, smokier. Let's go smokier. Not too smoky. I mean, maybe she would go too smoky. She would be someone who understands her face. So, you know, I think one of the issues that I had also in picturing what Evelyn Hugo would look like, and why I think I also had an issue with her nationality, and probably why I couldn't really get into or couldn't really relate to Evelyn at all. She didn't really stand out. I'm going to change her lips, I think, back to these, maybe a little bit lighter. But yeah, she sounded like a Marilyn Monroe type. There was nothing really significantly different about her. Even if she did make her more like Marilyn Monroe, I would have loved to see the complexities that Marilyn Monroe has more in the story. And again, this could have been done through her Cuban heritage, and it wasn't. Her mom died, and then her father was kind of non-existent in her life. So it was kind of easy to erase her culture and her background and to kind of start her off with like a clean slate, which is really genius for the character. But I don't know. Since there was nothing actually grounding, that is most likely why I couldn't relate to her as a character. I couldn't relate to her, so I didn't feel bad for her. I didn't feel bad for the decisions that she made and the positions that she put herself in because of the decisions that she made. They sounded pretty accurate. And because everything that she did kind of had no reason, again, she could have done this through her Cuban heritage. She's like a Marilyn Monroe character, but not as complex. And because of that, the things that she did, like the places where I was supposed to feel bad for Evelyn as a character, I couldn't because her reasons for fame were just so freaking vapid. Her relationships didn't seem that significant since she didn't care. What her partner thought at all ever. And yeah, I don't know. I just didn't like her as a character. I don't feel bad for those characters. I couldn't feel bad for her. This shoe, I feel like, is totally the type of shoe that she would wear. I think these are in like an emerald color. I just don't like the toes. We have better shoes now where they're like, toes matter. The dress kind of glitches with it, but it's kind of a look. I don't know. It's kind of everything. It looks actually really good. I might keep those shoes. Again, if she had a shawl, it would just be to die. I think I'm going to keep those shoes. I'm pretty over her because I don't want to talk too much about the book. I don't want to go too much into it. I don't know. A lot of people have asked me so far, like, do you like the book? And I kind of just want to go off, but I can't because I don't want to spoil it, and I don't want to convince anybody not to read the book because it was a good book. And again, I don't really have a problem with her culture either because the author did a really good job of erasing her history, which would make sense to Evelyn's character that she probably wouldn't bring up her culture. But I feel like because we know her culture, it being kind of erased felt cheap. For that, then just leave it up to the reader. That would have been the Evelyn Hugo thing to do, is to leave it up to the reader and leave it up to the person. What is she? Ooh, she could be anything you want, right? That would have, again, that it would have given her that texture. If either you removed it or you did something with it. It was just, I don't know. I don't want to harp on it too much because again, it was a good book. I would recommend it. It was really well written. I also do feel like it speaks volumes to our culture today, especially with people like the Kardashians and us really not knowing what goes on behind closed doors and what is actually going on in their personal lives. And just the fact that we actually really don't know them. It speaks a lot to like our parasocial relationship with people these days. Anyway, so Camilla started off already as being good and materialistic. I'm removing good. You know what? Before I give her a personality, I'm going to complete the look. I am going to give her gloves. These. Okay, they don't glitch. Oh, they do with her eyelashes. Pourquoi? I'm no fashionista, but this girl pushes the boundaries when it comes to sexy. She wears the lace where you can see it on her arms. I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh my God, the fur coat. I actually really like this fur coat. It looks really good, but it clashes with her eyelashes. So I'm not gonna put it on her. Yeah, I think that looks good. The longer red nails, the glitchy shoes. Yes, this is my Evelyn Hugo. Oh my God, she's so hot. Anyway, so she is materialistic. That's right, honey. A romantic. Definitely. She's been married 7 times. I'm also going to give her self-absorbed because a lot of the decisions she made was extremely self-absorbed, and her aspiration is fabulously wealthy. I don't think she had any other aspirations. She just wanted to be super popular and wealthy. Maybe a nice little watch. I want her to wear like a wrist full of pearls, but I don't have anything like that. So she looks fine the way she is. She's wearing a nice little watch. I think at some point the author probably wanted you or thought that the reader might have like been becoming affectionate towards Evelyn Hugo. And like, it was like she kind of wanted to remind the reader every once in a while, like, this isn't a good person. And every time I felt like the author was reminding me that Evelyn Hugo is not a good person or is not a person that you should feel bad for, I didn't. I was like, oh, cool, because I don't feel bad for her. So I don't know, man. I'm just so tired of celebrities. And this is what I feel the author imagined of Evelyn Hugo. Not really time appropriate, but mine is more of sex bomb, like the goddess that she is. She looks amazing. She knows she looks amazing. She's super arrogant. To me, Evelyn Hugo, a lot of the decisions that she would have made would have been selfish, and she would have owned the fact that she was selfish, because that is what a bad bee does. You own your shit. Okay? If you're a shitty person, you own that you're shitty. You don't kind of manipulate the media and manipulate the world into thinking that, I don't know, you're someone who would marry 7 husbands. I don't know. It was a good book. I'm sorry that I spoiled it as much as I did. That was a little bit exhausting. That was almost as exhausting as it was for me to actually read the book. Listen, it's been quite a while since I've read fiction, and it's especially been a while since I read something that's like romantic, even watched something that's romantic. So I don't know. I had my issues with the complexity of the character. I think I like characters that are just a bit more complex. She wasn't that complex. I mean, she's a celebrity. But other than that, it was a good book. I would recommend you reading it. You might have a different experience than me because I hyper-focused on a couple of things that really weren't relevant to who the character was or even the story itself. So it still is a good read. Take my criticism as just something that was just stabbing me in the brain as I was reading the book and kind of distracted me and made me really not like Evelyn as a character. But anyway, if you like this video, don't forget to do the YouTube Holy Trinity in the name of the like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah. See you in the next one. Do not take this as a book review. Definitely take it as something that I hyper fixated on as I read the book. It is not really a huge criticism of the book. It has nothing to do with the quality of the book. So that's my 2 cents. Okay, bye.